We talked to Coach Stout a little bit ago. He said when we first got here, one of the first things he did was go out to dinner with you, and I think he said Billy was there as well. What was that dinner like, and what's it been like getting to know him as the new offensive line coach?
It was a good dinner, and we had talks that day before, and just kind of got familiar with each other, and talked about his family, my family, expectations, what he's done, what I've done, kind of just feeling us out, and we made dinner plans for that night. We went over to Champs. It's real casual, and just talked about his players and who he's coached, stories, just talking, just feeling each other out and what he's about, what I'm about, what we got to do together to get this unit going, and just all that type of stuff. So it was a good dinner, and it kind of set the base for what we wanted to do, and yeah, it's like that. So
were you comfortable right away, considering it seems like he sort of made that more of a collaborative process than just him saying, here's how I do things?
Yeah, well, when we first sat down, it was Coach Meyer, Coach Judd, and myself. Mm-hmm. And Coach Meyer said a few words, and we started talking, and the first thing he said is, we're going to do this together. We're going to do it together. We got to lead together, and Billy too, obviously. So that was the first thing, we set the ground with that, and that's what we've been doing. We've been doing it together.
Was Billy at the dinner, or was it just you and Coach Judd?
It was just Coach Judd and I.
Do you have trepidations, concerns, anything like that when, you're going on 5 years here and you've known one thing with Coach Warner for 5 years, and now a new guy's coming in? Just what were your, initial reactions to knowing you'd have a different position coach?
I was excited about it, especially knowing Coach Judd and his background, and he's been with Coach Meyer. I was real pumped about it. Like you said, I've been with Coach Warner for 4 years, and I know what Coach Warner teaches. I know what he expects, and to get a new perspective on things, I'm excited about that. And just add those tools to my toolbox. Just we call it loading your toolbox. So I'll just have more ideas and techniques and different looks at stuff. And Coach Warner's with the tight ends. He's still going to be around, so he'll still be throwing his 2 cents, saying whatever. And I know what Coach Warner expects, being with him for 4 years. So we're excited. Have Coach Judd. The guys love him. We all love him. He fits really well in our room.
When did you know that fit was there? How soon after meeting him did you know that it was going to work out?
Right away, just talking to him, and when Coach Meyer and I sat down in his office, and once we started talking, I knew, I was like, this guy's gonna be perfect for us, just because I know all the personalities in our room, and just getting to know his, I was like, this is gonna be perfect.
How different is it in off-season conditioning with such a young team, especially among your unit, guys that actually know they have a chance to play?
Yeah, it's different. Guys are hungry. They're out there trying to earn spots every day. That's what it is. We've been calling it the land of the wolves, eat or be eaten. So, the guys have been grinding and trying to earn a spot, because every day we're evaluated every day on everything. And if you're not on top of your game, there's someone behind you coming up to take that spot. So those guys have been grinding. They're hungry. But yeah, it's different. I think last week, Coach Matus, one of our strength coaches, told me that there were 47 guys that was their first time doing mat drills. That's what we did this morning. I was like, wow, that really hit me. I was like, wow, 47 guys have never done this workout that we're about to do before, and that just shows how young we are. But those guys are hungry. They've been getting after it, so we're happy with how it's going so far.
How did mat drills go today?
They're rough, 5:55, the horn's blowing, and we're out there grinding, and they're really tough, mental toughness, and you have to make a decision. Either you're going to separate yourself, you're going to be that guy, or you're going to be with the pack. So that's mat drills are trying to separate those guys. You're going to be average, or you're going to stand out. And that's mat drills. We relate it to football. Fourth quarter, or 4th and 1. What are you going to do? Are you going to get the first down, or are you going to get stopped? So we're trying to translate that toughness from mat drills, and that's going to roll over to the field.
Who are the guys who have already stood out in the mat drills and the conditioning?
Some guys that have stood out. Evan Lyle's doing well. Matt Burrell's doing well. Demetrius Knox is doing well. Isaiah's taking steps. So all those guys that are competing for those spots, Jamarco's doing really well too. He's stepping up. He's where he needs to be. So those guys that are trying to earn those spots, they're stepping up and they're grinding. So I think as of now they're doing well in the off season, and we're just going to see how well that translates to spring ball, and if they can go on the field and perform.
Hey Pat, JT was talking about he has to take some of these young guys aside and say, this is not punishment for you.
Right.
It may seem like punishment, but it's not. It's to make everybody better. How do you have to let those young guys know that, this is a grind, this is the time to make yourself better,
Right.
and to lead those young guys?
Yeah, I've been doing that as well. Some of the young linemen that we're depending on, they're struggling sometimes. And like JT said, you got to let them know that it's not a punishment. And, these mat drills or these workouts are game situations, and we're preparing you because we're counting on you. And if you can't get through this, fourth down against a team up north in the fourth quarter, like, it's the same thing. And if you can't get through this, how are you going to be on the field and do it? So we're trying to tell them that, all this stuff is relating to game situations. Guys that we're relying on to start and play, they need to know why we're doing this stuff, not for punishment, because you need this to win games. That's why we're successful around here. We pride ourselves on these mat drills or these hard workouts we do early in the morning, because it directly translates to the field, fourth quarter, against Michigan State, against Oklahoma, all those teams. So we're telling them, this is why we're doing this stuff. You got to get tough. You got to know how to grind through it when you're tired, when you don't think you can go anymore. There's still more to give, So us older guys that know how to do that are trying to teach these young guys how to do it, guys that we're relying on.
Has Coach Mick taken a different approach? Because I know they, in Urban, because they like the mental games with you guys. Have they taken a different approach from years past because you have to approach each team differently?
Yeah, just like I said, there's 47 guys who haven't done mat drills before. But it's a little different, but it's like the same thing. You go out there, you give it your all. It's a little different because guys don't really know what to expect, whereas years past guys know how mat drills work and know what's coming. These guys don't know what's about to hit them. We have the St. Valentine's Day Massacre on Friday, and they don't know what that's about to be like. I've done it like 3 or 4 times. I know what it's like. Those guys have no idea. So it'll be a little different for them, but they're all treated the same. They have to learn how to grind through the tough parts. Like I said, it translates over to the field, so they have to know how to push themselves when their mind's telling them no, or their body's telling them no. Your mind has to say yes and go and go and go. So that's going to be another test Friday to see how these young guys do.
What is that? I've never heard of that.
The Valentine's Day workout. So every year, usually it's on Valentine's Day, but this year it's a little different. It's a workout. It's like the most talked about workout of the year. So it's early in the morning, 6 a.m. They won't let you in the weight room. They usually will meet in the weight room. They won't let you in. They'll make you stay in the locker room. And the strength coaches will decorate the whole hallway going down to the weight room. And I remember last year, Coach Schlegel had on a Jason mask and had a chainsaw, obviously without the chain on it, and he's ripping the chainsaw, and we have video cameras, and there's a DJ in the weight room with speakers everywhere, and it's just, a pump up, get the team hyped up, but it's the hardest workout of the year, So there's 2 workouts like that. There's the Valentine's Day, and there's the Harley Davidson workout. I don't know, Coach Mick likes that. And same type of thing, decorate everything, and Coach Yulee, the strength coach, will ride a Harley Davidson motorcycle in here into the weight room before we work out. He'll rev it up and get the whole place all hyped up. And the coaches, all the position coaches will be in there, dressed up like Harley riders, sunglasses, bandanas, leather stuff. So those are those 2 workouts that are the most talked about workouts of the year. And we have the Valentine's Day one this Friday, and they'll put, we love you, we love the squat, we love the deadlift. And they'll put rose petals everywhere, but they'll just be in there beating you down, and it's nuts, but they make it fun. So
How do you feel after those workouts?
You're done for the whole day. You can't, it's like they toast you. But it's another decision you have to make. You're going to separate yourself, or you're going to be average. And they put you in these uncomfortable situations to see how you respond. The whole thing, the whole offseason is just a mental game. They're trying to mess with your mind, and it's tough. But yeah, it's a tough off season.
You could have gone to the NFL. Are there any thoughts in your head how am I going to do this again?
Like I said, it's all mental. and I know how to like push myself and grind and do all that. Like I don't have to come in here and make a decision. Am I gonna go today? Am I not gonna go today? No, it's you go all the time, no matter what. And I feel like that's paid off for me. So there's no decision for me to come in here and decide if I have to go hard today or not. That's the way I live my life here.
I'm saying,
So-
were there any second thoughts like, geez, I could be preparing for the
No,
combine,
I like it here. I like doing this stuff.
I'm not super familiar with it. I haven't heard that concept before. Can you explain a little of what that is to you?
Yeah. We watched a video before we did our first mat drill last week, and our video guy, is incredible. And what he did was he was comparing last season to a redwood forest where, big trees, it's all safe. He goes, you guys have been living in this redwood forest where you're safe, there's food, there's everything. He goes, but now that's over, and it's like a barren forest now. It's snowy, it's hostile. This is the land of the wolves. You got to eat or be eaten. So, these guys haven't been through this off-season program before. So you either got to go out there and attack it, and make a name for yourself, or you won't survive. So that's kind of the land of the wolves.
Yeah.
You have to eat to survive, or if you don't, you're not going to make it.
And on that note, I guess he's talking about hunger.
Hunger.
Is that something that, I mean, look, last year was an outstanding season, but
Right.
do you feel like last year's team maybe, I don't know, it's hard to say, it's hard to put a critique on it, but do
Yeah.
you feel like there wasn't maybe they're thinking you couldn't be a hungrier football team this year?
Definitely. Like I always said, it's harder to stay on top than it is to get to the top. And just all the expectations were really high, and that was tough. And now there aren't really many expectations, and guys are hungry. Guys' first time playing. I remember my first time stepping on the field, like how hungry I was. That hasn't changed, but it's that mentality to go out there and play for my first time for Ohio State, it was insane. And if we can get every guy on that page, it's gonna be a hungry team. It'll be fun to play with those guys that have that mentality.